Welcome to the Cast and Camo podcast, where we talk about hunting, fishing, and all things outdoors. Grab your fishing rod, put on your favorite camo, or just sit back and enjoy this week's topic. Cast and Camo begins now.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, Todd.
How's
How are
it going? I'm good.
Peachy.
How was your weekend?
Oh, it was great. Hey, I caught 5 fish today.
You caught 5 fish today?
Five.
How big were they?
Well, I got 2 buffaloes. Not the hairy mammoth buffalo. I didn't get
like the bisons.
Yeah, I didn't get a bison. No, they were fish. I got 2 buffalo and 3 grass carp. Probably the biggest, maybe 18 pound, maybe if that, maybe 17.
And by grass carp, you mean channel cats or grass carp as in silver carp? Asian carp? No.
Hey, wait a minute. What do you mean Asian carp?
Well, isn't that the problem right now is Asian carps?
Yeah, but grass carp is not an Asian carp.
Is a silver carp an Asian carp?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you say Asian carp, then you're talking about like a silver carp.
Oh.
They're like real. They got real small scales on them, about the size of a pencil eraser, maybe a wee little bit bigger. Yeah. I think they were inhabited. I was told that everything came from Minnesota. So did Asian carp come from Minnesota too?
No.
No?
No.
All right. Well,
no.
I was just told that.
Well, almost everything. Look, I'm not the one that says that. There's plenty of things that have come from other states.
Uh-huh.
And other countries.
Do you know what a big head carp is?
No.
Do I have to? You don't know what a big head carp is?
No, was that a buffalo?
No, it's not a buffalo.
I'm being serious. I don't know. I have no idea. No.
All right, listen, Todd.
Yeah.
We're going to have 101 on fish identification next week.
Okay, I like that. I think that's a good idea.
I think we're going to go through all the fish identification. And I think we need to get this done right. Asian, buffalo, moose, jokers, buzzards. We got all them kind of fish. There's some weird fish, especially them buzzard fish. I've seen a lot of them. Yeah. And the soggy Wonka fish.
Those are the prettiest fish of all.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Especially when you put a little blush on the cheeks and some lipstick. Yeah.
All right. So guess what? You forgot to do.
What did I forget to do?
Housekeeping.
Oh, we haven't gotten there yet.
Are you sure? Because I felt like we were there already.
Oh. Well, we can be. We can do some housekeeping.
Well, all right. So anyway, I did go fishing today. I caught 5 fish. 3 grass carp, 2 buffalo. JB and his boy come up and spent the day with me fishing. We had a lot of fun. The poor kid, I'm going to tell you, I thought no one was as bad as Joker. Joker looked like... Have you ever watched, like, Charlie Brown?
Yeah.
You know Pigpen?
Yep.
Joker was Pigpen.
Okay.
when he was here catching carp.
Okay.
Ezra has now been called. He has made the new Pigpen. He
Okay.
outdid Joker.
That makes sense.
He looks a lot worse than Joker did.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. He is 70 years younger than Joker.
Well, he holds these grass carp, like hugs them. You know what I mean?
No, I get
And then it's all over the shirt.
Yep.
Blood all over his poor shorts.
It builds character.
It does.
Puts
build
hair on his
character.
chest.
Yeah, there's not much of him. He's kind of small, yeah. But
Yeah, he's like 1/8 the weight and 70 years younger than Joker.
well, 70? I was going to say 75. That's
Oh,
pretty
well, I was being
gracious of
generous.
you.
I was being generous. and
Yeah, you were
polite
being awful gracious.
and
Yeah.
kind. You know,
Yeah.
speaking of Joker and speaking of we can get the best viewers. We like average viewers. Sorry, Mommy Fortnite. We only like average viewers.
Mummy Fortnite's making 50 cents by coming in here
I
saying that.
know. Congratulations.
That's right.
Speaking of Joker and Charlie Brown,
Mhm.
I thought you were going to talk about how Joker's kind of like Charlie Brown and the grass carp are like, what is it, Lucy? When he runs up to kick the ball and then she pulls it away. That's kind of what I picture as Joker. Like,
Well, I even danced today on stream.
wow.
I did a dance. Swear to God, I did a dance,
Okay.
and I thought I was more sexier than Joker.
Well, it doesn't take. I'm proud of you.
All right,
I had to stop myself.
Joker said that no time in my life would I ever be as sexy as him. That was his comment to me, and I felt hurt.
I would. It sounds like a personal attack to me.
So.
Personal attack. I don't know. Well, I also had an okay weekend. No, it was awful. No, it wasn't awful.
Wait a minute. Why do you have awful weekends? Come on. Let's have a good weekend.
It was freaking hot this weekend. It was
Yes, it
freaking
was.
hot. And
Yeah,
I
it
was
was.
camping and it was kind of miserable. And
Hold on. Were you camping outside or inside?
is there a camping inside?
Well, if you're inside your ice shanty.
Well, that's where I was
that's
sleeping.
Oh, well, then that ain't camping. You got to be out there in a tent where you're with Mother Nature. The snakes, the bugs, the
No.
spiders.
No.
That's what I feel like camping is.
Well, it is camping. I had to go find a portable air conditioner.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That ain't camping.
Yeah, no, it is, because you still have to go outside for the whole day. And it was fun because I made a little. We took an old cornhole game that somebody ran over with the truck, and it was broken. So the vent
Okay.
for the portable air conditioner fit perfectly into the cornhole game, the hole of the board.
Oh,
So we
cool.
just kind of cut out some notches for the thing to like fit in snug, and then
Yeah.
we cut it round, just the same size as my catch cover that goes over the hole, so it vents out the bottom of the fish house, and it kept me
Okay.
nice and cool as I slept. It was wondrous. But guess what? Do you know what I did yesterday and who I did it with?
Oh, well, it's hard to tell. Go
Oui,
ahead.
oui, sacre bleu.
Hit me with it.
I did mushroom hunting with Jamie, the chick of the woods.
And you guys camped out?
No, she came for the afternoon,
Oh,
and we did
all right.
we did a mushroom hunt.
I'm gonna say you didn't invite me.
Oh, you're always invited.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So now I hung out with Jamie again yesterday, and we did some mushroom hunting and found a bunch of good mushrooms
Mm-hmm.
that I have upstairs in my house. And I have no idea what. Not yet. Not yet. I plan on trying some of these. They are hen of the woods. and they're big, and she was super excited. So I had all of a sudden you hear, "Ooh, there's one," and I'd walk over there, and I'm looking, I'm like,
So is that the sheep head? Does it have the leaves, like the grayish or whitish leaves?
yeah,
That come out and grow on the base of an oak tree?
they're yes, yeah, like
Okay.
on the ground right next to the oak trees. And yeah, she
Right.
said it is. Joker's commenting that hen of the woods already. Yeah, she did
That's
comment
what-
that it was early, but there was some big daddies there.
Really?
Yeah, so we harvested those, and there was a couple that were still just starting to grow, so we let those go. I marked them. I marked those trees on my Onyx, and next year we can go back and pick more hen of the woods from those trees.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. They're very good with scrambled eggs.
Really?
Yeah. I love them with scrambled eggs.
Okay.
I'm telling you, the hen of woods is awesome. If you prepare them right and do everything you're saying, I'm sure she already told you. So what's that face?
No, she hasn't told me. I'm gonna have to look it up.
All right. I'm just telling you right now.
I don't know that I want to mix my food yet with mushrooms.
Really?
I've only had mushrooms once. Let me try these. I'm probably gonna saute them in some butter, and then some extra butter, and then some
Extra
more butter.
garlic and more garlic and butter.
Yep. But yeah, we'll season them and saute them, and I'll try them. And if I'm into it, if I dig it, then maybe I'll try it with scrambled eggs. But the concept, the idea in my head of mixing a mushroom with scrambled eggs in this moment in time, it's a no for me, dog.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I think it's awesome.
We'll see. We'll see. I hope I like it. I do.
Yeah.
I hope I like it. So yeah, I'll post some pictures in our Discord after the show.
Yeah. Definitely.
So we'll see what it's like. But okay, so now we got to do housekeeping since we haven't done housekeeping. Everybody watching currently, they know we're on Twitch. And if you're watching and you miss a show or you want to go back to some shows because you thought Eric looked funny and that tickled you, you can always go to YouTube and check us out as Cast and Camo TV on YouTube. Subscribe, like, and comment. That helps with the rhythms of the algo. I think that's the right thing. We're progressively getting more views on YouTube every now and then. We get like 4. So we're moving on up like the Jeffersons.
Are we over 1,000 yet?
1,000 what? Subscribers?
Yes.
No, we haven't even hit triple digits.
Really? Chat.
We're almost
What's
to
the matter with you guys?
We are almost to the magical number of 69 subscribers. I think last I looked, we were at 68. So we got that going for us.
Tonight, let's hit 100. Come on. I mean, we got 25,000 people in our channel right now. All we have to do is get a couple of you to go over there and sub to us. And it don't cost you a dime. Not even a penny. Did I lose Vexus? Hello? Can anyone hear me? I don't hear you. Is it you or me? Did you hit a button? Me? Chat, can you guys hear me? All right, can you guys hear Todd?
I am muted. I was muted. Tricked you. Gotcha.
I just had a flashover of Joker yelling at me one day.
Well, what's funny is I can't see you in Video Ninja. So I legit thought there was a problem.
No, I can see you in Video Ninja. Why can't you see me?
I don't know, but it really doesn't matter because I'm seeing you in OBS, so we're good. We're good.
Okay.
Sarah's right. We are professionals. This is why we have 68 YouTube subscribers because you can only get this type of professionalism on this show right here.
Well, if
Love
we
it.
hit 69, no one else sign up. We're going to stay at that number.
Yeah, that's our magical number. I think everything happens after that. We can monetize on YouTube after 69,
Yes.
I think. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. We can monetize at 69.
Yeah. Speaking of monetizing, we have sponsors. The first one being Texas Select Seasonings. If you are in our Twitch chat and if you're watching on YouTube later and you want to hang out with us and join in the tomfoolery and skullduggery, come and check us out on Twitch. Cast and Camo on Twitch. We're live every Sunday night, 7 p.m. Central. But Texas Select Seasonings, and if you're in our chat, !BBQ will bring up the link to get to Wild Bill's website, and you can use Cast and Camo in all caps to get 15% off as your discount code. It's a good deal. It's a good deal.
Mhm.
I'm going to be smoking some pork butt this week, and I'm going
That
to use.
sounds good.
Yeah, it does. It does. I can't wait. And I'm gonna use the.
You're going to do
Texas Select Seasonings.
next weekend. This next weekend coming. I hope it's not going to be as hot. I mean, Tuesday we're supposed to be like 101 degrees.
Oh, really? I haven't looked at the weather.
Oh, and I will not smoke anything when it's above the 85. Heck with that.
Oh man, we smoked some good meats this weekend. Some pork belly, some brisket, some
I
chickens.
like me some brisket. I
Oh.
like chicken. Yeah, I like
I mean,
chicken.
you know me.
I like brisket. Yeah, very
I
good.
love putting meat in my mouth.
Yeah, you're doing
It's gonna
well.
happen. Thank you.
Mhm. Yep.
Sea Arc boats! ! Sea Arc! If you're in our Twitch chat to check out the Sea Arc boats that are on display, you can get them at any dealer that is close to you that offers Sea Arc boats. They're not cheap, but they're good quality. And if you're going fishing on the rivers, they are built for the rivers. And they got a bunch of other stuff, duck boats. They got a lot of they have a lot more boats than people I think realize for different kinds of things. But no walleye boats. ... Yet. Not yet. I'm waiting for it. And lastly, but not leastly, Deer 30, ! Deer 30 in chat. And you can use Cast and Camo 24 to get 24% off your order. It's a great deal. It's almost deer season. And it's almost time to start planning already for next deer season. Your food plots, your minerals, get that stuff on the ground. It's going to help your deer. It's good
Yep.
stuff. What I want to do, I didn't tell you this. What I want to do, I want to have those boys up to Minnesota. I want to take them ice fishing. And then I'm going to bring them to my hunting land and I'm going to say, here's what we're dealing with. This is my canvas of hunting. Help me plan the perfect way to enhance our deer. That's what I want to do.
Help me help you.
That's right.
Yep.
You got that right. And then I'm still going to try to get them to wrap my truck. I want Deer 30 all over my truck, baby. I think it's a
Okay.
great idea.
Okay.
You think that's a good idea?
Well, yeah, it could be.
I
Yes.
think it is.
I think it'd be awesome.
Yep.
Mhm.
So last week was a depressing week. It was fun. We had fun, but it was kind of depressing because we talked about our hobbies of hunting and fishing and balancing that hunting and fishing checkbook and how that shit adds up. Every lure, every spool of line, every knife that you buy, like everything adds up. But it was good therapy to kind of think. You got to think through the costs and weigh the benefits. And the
Yeah.
benefits for hunting and fishing always outweigh the costs. Always.
Yeah.
That's the trick with these hobbies. They might cost a lot sometimes, but the benefits always outweigh the cost.
I agree.
Yep.
100%.
This week, I'm actually excited about this topic. The topic that we're going to talk about is the lost art of small game hunting. Are you pulling out the back scratcher? Look at you.
Yes. Oh, I'm telling you,
That's-
the bugs here lately just chewed us up today too. So
Oh my God.
sorry about it.
No, you're good. On the way home today, I stopped at Walmart to see if I could find like a Benadryl body wash.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have any luck, so I just have the Benadryl cream. But after my 37-minute shower that felt amazing after a weekend out in that humidity.
Right.
I doused my arms and my legs in Benadryl anti-itch. The mosquito. I think I stopped counting after 7,844 mosquito bites.
What I use is cortisone 10. That's the only thing that seems to make it stop itching within minutes.
All right.
I don't know what but I got tore up this weekend also down at the farm. Me and Ryan went down and we walked down on the beach on the upper part of the farm and we got into them sand flies.
Wait, you have a beach on the farm?
Yes, it's a huge beach too. It's nothing but sand for about 50, 75 yards out.
So we used to have a beach party.
Oh, they used to have beach parties there every year. Actually, the town that's down here, they would come down there and have a beach party, have music, boats. They would be there for a whole weekend. Yeah.
So it's a nude beach?
No.
That's how you saw Joker's underwear.
Listen, I don't even want to talk about Joker. My eyes still are blinded by them blue, ratty, holy looking things that he had on. It scared me to death.
Well, the holy was just for easy access.
I don't know.
At least that's what he said.
All right.
Maybe.
So the topic we're going to talk about tonight.
Yeah. The lost art of small game hunting.
Yes, it's amazing because me and Todd started talking about this, and I don't think our chat is going to realize how bad it is. We just did a quick research on the past couple of numbers. Joker, you gotta quit. You gotta quit, Joker. I can't do this with you talking about your underwear. So anyway, quit it, Todd. So anyway, it's kind of neat. I mentioned to Todd tonight, I said, Todd, since I've been living here, when I first moved down, Kentucky has a really weird hunting season. Really weird. So when I first moved here, deer season would come in on a Saturday. And on Wednesday, they would open up rabbit season here during the deer season. So you would have a week and a half of rabbit hunters out there while you're deer hunting. Dogs running, and I used to see quite a few rabbit hunters.
Which makes no sense to me.
Yeah, and I don't know where Kentucky's idea or thought of having rabbit season, because like in Pennsylvania, if you have deer season, you'll have rabbit season before deer season, but it closes right the day before deer season. Shuts down, going until after deer season, then it starts back up like the second week of December, we'll say. Sure. December 12th, 14th, something like that. Rabbit season will start back up once deer and bear season's gone and over with. So here, I guess, you can carry slugs with you, and if you jump a deer, and it's a buck or a doe or whatever, you can put a slug in and shoot your deer too. I don't know if that's their thought process behind this or not, but it's really weird to me the way they're doing this. But anyway, I told Todd tonight, when I first moved here, I seen a lot of squirrel hunters, not a lot, but I seen several squirrel hunters. I seen several rabbit hunters. The last 5 years, I've not seen one rabbit hunter, not even one squirrel hunter. And I ride past a lot of acreage of ground going to our farm to hunt. And the hunters are just like gone. So we started looking. So I'll let you talk a little bit about this, Todd.
No, I mean, yeah, like you said, it's you don't see it anymore. And it was how I was introduced to hunting was squirrel hunting. And we'll go into how severe the decline is in small game based on the little bit of research that we've done. But I think it's a great way to get youngsters out into the woods and learn. I learned a lot from squirrel hunting. Was eating squirrel my favorite thing in the world? No, but it taught me to eat what you harvest. It taught me how to field dress something. It taught me how to be quiet in the woods, how to look for things, how to take angles for shots. It taught me a lot about hunting, but there's no pressure. You're not sitting in a deer stand for 8 to 10 hours and you feel that pressure of I have to shoot a deer. You're not getting a lot of meat out of a squirrel. I think it's a good, for me, it was a good intro as a young adult into, I was a young adult. I was a kid. I don't know, probably 8, 9, 10 years old. A 22 rifle is perfect and it can be handled by somebody that's younger, but bringing out the youth into these woods to hunt for squirrels and rabbits. I think I've went rabbit hunting maybe twice in my life. They are so fluffy and adorable. And I really have no desire to eat a rabbit, but sometimes it's fun to go hunting for them. But yeah, I don't hear anybody. I'm around a lot of people that hunt, and nobody talks about going on a squirrel hunting day or weekend. It seems like it doesn't exist anymore, which is strange.
What's kind of weird though is we looked up tonight each of our state, and we'll go over our states. So in Kentucky, from 2022 to 2023, there was a 21% decline of rabbit hunters. For squirrel hunters, 2022 to 2023, there was a 38% decrease. Since 1984, there's been like 78% decrease in rabbit and squirrel hunters. And so while I was looking at that, we decided to look at Wisconsin real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Wisconsin has, in 1984, they killed 1.4 million rabbits that were harvested in the state of Wisconsin. In 2021, there was 223,000 rabbits harvested. And with over a 76% decrease in hunters in Wisconsin. What do we blame that on? From what I've seen on Kentucky Fish and Game, they kind of blame it on more people are interested in big game hunting. But the numbers have not really went up very high because our numbers have decreased for deer hunters in the past couple of years.
Same.
I think the problem of it is parents and their children nowadays. I know for a fact that last year my son went in to get my grandson to go deer hunting the third day of deer season, and he's like, "Dad, we're playing on Xbox. We got a game going on." And you know what? My son's like, okay. So he goes hunting without him. I think the youth are a little bit different, and I blame the parents for not grabbing them by their neck and saying, "Hey, you need to get out of the house and go learn this." I really, and I think that's where the decline's happening. The kids are paying more attention to Xbox, PlayStation, all these other games, and they're like, being couch potatoes, and they're not getting outside.
Yeah, tiki-taki.
And I think we are going to lose our hunters. And I think that number is going to grow and get worse if we don't try to get people involved in hunting and fishing. I think it's everything. I don't see the families out fishing no more either, like I used to.
Sarah's comment is, if games were as good as they are now when you were a kid, you'd understand. The problem with that theory is when Chief was a kid, there wasn't even TV.
Quit it. They had rabbit ears. Did you ever see rabbit ears?
Yeah. It was like rabbit hunting then.
No, I would go outside and we had an electronic box that spun the antenna around. You could turn on top of the TV and it'd go. You'd hear it. Yeah, at Channel 2 in Pittsburgh. It's kind of fuzzy. You have to turn it a little bit southeast. Okay, it looks good now. You know, seriously, that's how we did it. But the thing of it is what Sarah, you need to go out hunting and fishing. You went out and caught 3 trout the other day, correct?
Yeah.
She went out and she had a good time. It took her 17 hours to pick the bones out of them trout.
Yeah, that'll happen.
17 hours to get 22 bones out of a trout. She did a good job. Yeah, I just went fishing and let me game.
But the thing that I loved about Sarah going to that trout farm, lake, whatever, she brought her little boy. And I don't know if that was his first experience. It might be his first experience that he's going to remember. And that, to me, that was a great idea to bring him with. Not that you're guaranteed to fish at one of those places, but you're kind of guaranteed. Your odds are higher, right, than if you just go pick a spot. But hopefully he'll ask to go again and continue to go and to get outdoors. That's it is key. There, you know, what's funny is, as we were talking about all of the declines based on the numbers that we were seeing, it dawned on me, like, I'm one of them. How come I don't go squirrel hunting anymore? Why don't I go rabbit hunting? Why don't I go goose hunting? I've never gone. Well, I can't go quail hunting because they scare the living shit out of me, because they jump up in the woods and they scare me. So I would never get a shot at. But I enjoyed pheasant hunting. I don't particularly enjoy eating pheasant, but I'll eat it. I'll smoke it. Why don't I go small game hunting more often? And now, after this conversation, I'm actually kind of excited to maybe go out and do some squirrel hunting this fall. I think it might be kind of fun. I haven't done it in 30 plus years. So what's prevented me? What's prevented you from getting out there?
Well, I can tell you right now, I have not squirrel hunted in 28 years. We just talked about this. I said, Todd, when's the last time you went squirrel hunting? And I mean, it's ridiculous, because I know for a fact my son was about 6 years old when I took him squirrel hunting, and we went and got squirrel. We got 4 squirrels, come home, and we made a stew out of them. And he helped do all that. I think that was the last time I squirrel hunted. And I have not been squirrel hunting since. And it's my fault for not doing it. And now his kids, all they want to do is go deer hunting the first day of deer season. And that's it. They're done. You know, I mean, they're stuck in the house on the computer or the internet on their games.
Yep.
And I blame us for not getting our kids involved in. My dad never allowed me to stay in the house on a Saturday and Sunday. He'd be like, guys, get outside. You don't need to be sitting in there watching cartoons all day.
Yeah, the cartoons are fun.
You know, it'd be like, We would have breakfast, sit there and watch cartoons, and then he'd be like, go outside and play. But we used to ride our our sleds and our plastic sleds, inner tubes down the hill in the snow. Heck yeah, I don't even see, when we do get snow here, there ain't one kid out here sled riding.
Yeah, it's different here because we get a lot of snow. So we'd still do a lot of sledding and tubing and some skiing.
We used to build big fires on the top of the hill by the farm and sled ride all night long. Now, you don't see no one doing it.
Well, so now you would have to build some sort of a contraption. Not saying this is a bad thing because I would be 100% in favor. But you have to build some sort of a contraption with a motor, a heavy-duty motor, at the top of the hill that goes down the hill, and then you can grab onto the rope and it pulls you automatically back up. If there was something like that, I would be into sledding all the time. But we're old, man. We can't walk up those hills, man. No.
Yeah, that's really crappy to walk back up that hill. I understand.
Yeah. So I'm good for like 2 sleds, and then I'm done. But the kids should be going out. They're supposed to have all the energy, so they should be going up and down, up and down, up and down. That's what we did. It was great fun.
Well, let me ask you, when's the last time you went rabbit hunting? That's what I was brought up on first. That when I turned 12, I got to go rabbit hunting first.
Oh man, it was 33 years ago.
All right. So I also told Todd tonight, one thing I don't see here is very many rabbits. I do around my town. I live in a very small town, not very many houses, and I'm surrounded by farms. A block and a half from my house is a farm. 2,000 or 3,000 acre fields. My thing is I don't see the rabbits outside like I did when, 15 years ago. You'd be driving down the road and you'd see a rabbit run across the road.
Mm-hmm.
We have so many coyotes. I don't know if that's affecting them. And the hunters are just like, I'm just not getting very many rabbits anymore. I'm not getting, the dogs ain't running rabbits. You get one run a day. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I'm just not seeing the rabbit hunters. But I can go to our farm in one day and see 5 or 6 coyotes crossing the fields, but I won't see one rabbit. I'll see a ton of squirrels. I can sit in my tree stand and be surrounded by squirrels. I just don't see any rabbits down there. We do have a hare rabbit that we have here in Kentucky, and it is called a swamp rabbit. They go up to 6 pounds. They're about 21 to 25 inches long. They're big. They're bad. And you want to make sure you don't grab one by the back legs if it's still partially alive, because it will reach up and bite you without a problem. They're not like a cottontail. I can tell you that much.
So I think you bring up a good point / question. Possibility. Is it the decline in rabbit hunters due to less rabbits, which are due to a higher population of coyotes? And unfortunately, if that is the case, it's a vicious cycle, right? So just looking at the Minnesota numbers, the snowshoe hare is seeing in between 2021 and 2023, a 56% decline in number of hunters, but interestingly, a 45% decline in coyote hunters. So it's if that is a cause or a playing factor in the decline in rabbit hunters, the decline in coyote hunters is impacting the rabbit hunters, right? So how do you get out of that cycle if that is, and I would assume it is partially the case, especially with the rabbits. I mean, yeah, we have so many rabbits in our backyard, but go out into the woods where I've been deer hunting the last 5 years. I don't think we've seen, like the last 3 years of hunting on stream, I don't think we've seen one rabbit ever.
Right.
I don't remember the last time I've seen a rabbit in the woods. I don't. Plenty of squirrels. They need to get napalmed.
I can tell you right now, I have not seen a rabbit on our farm at all. And we have some really good thick brush and swamps down there. Now, we have swamp rabbits there because several years ago they used to kill some swamp rabbits down there. But it's like we don't get any snow to even see their tracks anymore. But our squirrel season starts a week ago. So
really?
August 17th was the opening day of squirrel season in Kentucky.
And there wasn't a parade or a big rally for all the squirrel hunters to go out?
Yeah, there's no one hunting, nowhere. February 29th. But to be honest with you, are you really going to go out August 17th when it's 100 degrees and the humidity is through the roof?
No.
And the cornfields are all still standing, the bean fields are all standing, and the farmers plant right up against the wood line. So all you're going to deal with is mosquitoes and horseflies and stink bugs. That's all you're going to deal with the entire time.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to go squirrel hunting when it's 100 degrees in August. I'm not sure I would want to go squirrel hunting in September if it's 90 degrees or 80 degrees. To me, squirrel hunting it's a fall, like after, mid to late October. It's before deer hunting. It's cool. The leaves have mostly fallen or in the middle of falling. That's, to me, that's squirrel hunting. But that's what when I was a kid, that's when we went. But I think when I looked earlier, I think ours opens on the same day bow season opens for whitetail, which is the 14th.
Well, I mean, look. All right, so our squirrel season comes in August 17th, goes out February 29th. Rabbit season comes in this year.
Yeah.
The opening day of deer season.
Why?
Opening day, November 11th to February 10th. So instead of it opening on the third or fourth day of deer season, now it opens the same day as deer season.
Why would they do that? That makes no sense.
I have no idea. I can't answer that. But with that being said, Kentucky's weird on their stuff anyway. Like I was telling you before, they have some weird seasons. Also, on this one, let's see. All right. So, squirrel season is stopped November 11th and 12th. Only 2 days, the first 2 days of deer season, you can't squirrel hunt in Kentucky, but it comes open now. All right, so August 17th till February 29th. There's 2 days that is canceled. That's November 11th and 12th. Because I guess the only thing I can think of, they don't want them to shoot in the trees because the deer hunters in trees. But why don't they cancel for the whole 2 weeks of deer season?
Well,
Why would they only cancel it for the first 2 days? Because I can still shoot up in that tree on the 13th.
it's a valid question. I don't have an answer.
Than the 12th. And you can still be up in that tree where that squirrel just ran up.
Yeah.
I don't know. In PA, we canceled all rabbit, squirrel, pheasant, turkey. There was nothing in season in deer season. So the opening day of deer season for 2 weeks, you cannot hunt anything unless you can shoot a coyote, unless your tag is filled. If your tag is filled, you cannot be in the woods with a gun. So if you kill a buck and a doe in PA on opening, them 2 weeks, you're allowed 2 deer. If you kill them deer, you can't be in the woods with a gun saying, "Oh, I'm out here coyote hunting."
Can you imagine? Can you imagine sitting in your deer stand if you're on public land and some dickhead comes walking through and it starts shooting at squirrels?
Yes.
While you're we would have words.
That would make me so mad.
I mean, it's public. If you're on public land, it's public land. What are you going to do? You can't do anything.
No, you can't do. And technically, you probably shouldn't open your mouth unless you look down and the guy's sitting down there 20 feet from your tree stand with a shotgun sitting against a tree. I mean, that would bother me. And I don't understand why Kentucky doesn't make a statewide rule that everything is closed during deer season.
It should. It should.
I mean, why even take a chance of doing anything that you're going to put someone in harm's way?
Soggy said it happened to him and he choked the guy out. I would be hard pressed not to choke the guy out.
All right, let me just ask you real quick. He said it's happened to him. So, in your deer season, is there anything else open, Todd?
That's what I was trying to kind of peek at to see. I'm not seeing anything. I got to find the stupid squirrel season again. It doesn't really say anything of it closing. It doesn't say anything that it closes. And some of the other Minnesota boys that are in here can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not seeing anything that indicates squirrel closes during.
What's your rabbit season? Is it in during deer?
I gotta look.
I think that's the dumbest thing in the world to let you pheasant hunt, rabbit hunt, and squirrel hunt during deer season.
Yeah, rabbit opens the same day bow season does. Everything opens on the 14th of September for us. It's what I thought, Soggy. Small games always open. They don't shut it down.
So you guys are doing the same thing we are.
Yeah. I've never run into that. Even when I hunt on state land, I've never run into somebody squirrel hunting, mostly because everybody's out deer hunting.
Well, unless the only thing else I could think of is maybe Kentucky was thinking before when they opened it on Wednesday, the first week of deer season. Well, if Joe goes out and kills his deer and he just wants a buck and he kills that deer and he's on vacation that whole week, he can't do nothing else.
Right.
So let Joe go out and shoot a rabbit and hope Vexus ain't up in a tree and shoot him out as a squirrel.
Well, I mean, I'm wearing blaze orange. I have to by law. So
and they do too, supposedly.
Yes. So if I'm wearing blaze orange and he's wearing blaze orange, and there's a squirrel in the branch that I'm sitting in, and that asshole would take a shot at it, there would be a fight.
Yes, but that has happened. I've investigated hunting accidents where both parties have had blaze orange on.
Right. I get that. But those people are morons. They're idiots. Yes. They are the 1%. They are the 10%. They are the people that shouldn't be allowed to procreate. Those are the idiots. That is natural selection.
But it's
That's my
human.
thoughts.
It's human nature. We have that happen all the time. I mean,
Right.
it's like the father and son that my first hunting accident that I ever had as a conservation officer. Father and son turkey hunting. Now, neither one of them had orange on because they didn't have to have it.
Mm-hmm.
But the father and son started in the woods. The father goes to the left, the son goes to the right. They set up and start calling turkeys. So the son hears a turkey over here, which is a hen yelping. Not a gobbler, but a hen. The son gets up and decides to sneak up on the turkey that's yelping. So he gets all the way up on top, which evidently he was totally a moron, not thinking straight, because the turkeys, you are not going to sneak up on a hen turkey. Their eyesight is like real, especially and get close enough to shoot it. Normally. Now, you may get a situation where there's a hill crest. This wasn't. This was all level, flat. The son sneaks up on the turkey, sees the turkey's head,
Yeah.
which was this, broadside shot right into the dad's chest, under the arm. He rubbed the back of his head, and his son shot him. Now, that shot, for the pattern that was on the father, was closer than 15 yards. How do you have that happen?
I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer. It shouldn't. And I think that's the exception, hopefully. Like
This is
you
a
think that's an
father and
accident.
son.
I know.
The son was 35 years old.
Oh.
The
Yeah, I
son
know
was
better.
35 years old. And that's what I was saying. I know the son. I was there. I worked that all day with them. I was at the hospital. We had to end up arresting the son. And the problem of it was, and the arrest is actually a very minor arrest for mistaking game is what he was charged with.
Okay.
Which is like a misdemeanor offense. But the problem of it was, this son forgot everything he was doing. His father went to the left. He traveled to the left. And he is even going after a turkey that is yelping and not gobbling. And it was only gobbler season.
Ugh. I mean, you hear that type of a story every year, unfortunately. But when you've got millions of hunters out there, you know, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. You'd never want you never want it to happen. It's even worse that it was a father and son.
Oh,
I mean,
that was...
He has to live with that forever, which is awful. But I wonder if his dad would have started taking him out squirrel hunting and rabbit hunting as a youngster, would that have changed?
I don't know. I would think that when I was taken hunting, my granddad and father were really serious about it. I mean, very serious about it. They was like, do not ever take that safety off that gun.
Right.
I mean, I remember when I was 12 years old, my first day going hunting, my dad and granddad both were with me, and they was up my case the entire time. Point the gun at the ground, Eric. Point the gun at the ground.
Yep.
Do not point it in any, it was just constant. Make sure you see the rabbit. Do not shoot. And if the dog is anywhere close to that rabbit, don't shoot. I mean, that was preached into me.
Same.
the entire time. I can't answer for anyone else because I'm not there with them to know how their parents treated them.
Well, and even to this day, I've taken new people out hunting a number of times over the last 10, 15 years. And even now, like, I'm that guy. Now I'm just like, point your gun down to the ground. If they're new to things, and they didn't grow up being told like you were and I was, it's not kind of second nature. So there's been so many times where a good friend of mine who I've gotten into hunting, now he's starting to pick up on it. But for the first couple years, as we're walking around, he's got his gun and he's just kind of, he's whipping around, turning around. I'm like, whoa, point that thing down or straight up, but not straight ahead, because you're going to turn and something, you never know what could happen.
Well, getting back to the season, how we got into this is, why would you have seasons that double over to each other? You could even get yourself into a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
And I didn't know Minnesota was the same way. I thought it was just Kentucky on their own. It's like, man, this is really messed up.
Well, I'm going to just go out on a limb and say Kentucky's is even dumber, because they're at least smart enough to shut it down for the first 2 days.
Yeah,
but then reopen it. It makes no sense whatsoever. It's so dumb.
And then Rabbit, they open it on the first day of deer season.
Yeah.
That makes no sense either. But anyway.
When you say first day of deer season, are you talking first day of gun season or first day of archery?
I'm talking the first day of gun season.
Okay.
It's November 11th is the first day of rabbit season in Kentucky. And that's the first day of our rifle season. I just looked it up. It
makes no sense.
It used to be like the 3rd to the 5th day of deer season, it would open up. And that's what I was telling you at the beginning of the show. I never could understand why they would bring it in the first week of deer season, like on the 3rd or 5th day.
Right.
And then we look it up tonight, and it actually, this year, it starts on the first day of rifle season.
It makes no sense. Why would a Wookiee live on Endor? It does not make sense.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, though, just looking at the Minnesota numbers, it is very sad. It is sad. Everything is decreasing by overall. I'm talking, I'll just go down the list. Ducks, Canada geese, other geese, American coot, common snipe, rails. Rails is the only one that is increasing, but we're talking small numbers. Grouse, dove, partridge, squirrels.
Now we're talking hunters for these animals.
Oh, well, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So how much
the number of hunters and the harvests are way down.
Yeah. What's the decline from last year? I think you was reading that too. What's the percentage from 2 years ago? For the 22-23 season.
Well, there's a lot of these surprised me. Like ducks is down 35%. Geese are down 42 to 51%. That's significant. Mourning doves down 47%. Squirrels down. They've got a bunch of squirrels listed separately, but on average, it's down 36%. Rabbits down 56%. Coyotes down 45%. Fox down 55%. Raccoons down 43%. Those are crazy numbers of decreasing.
And that's just been since 2022, 2023, correct?
Yeah, that was, yes. But, from 2022, 2023 season, that's comparing it to the 10-year mean. So that's significant. In 10 years to be dropping that bad, that's sad.
Yeah. Yeah, that is. And that's what I was saying there tonight when we first started looking at this, because I brought this up to Todd earlier tonight. I was like, we really maybe should talk about the declining numbers of hunters, because I don't know if you guys pay attention or not, but when you're out there driving around in these hunting seasons. Do you see anyone parked along the road hunting? Do you see? I mean, there may be states that have a lot more rabbit hunters or more rabbits or whatever. Wisconsin looked like it was really good. I mean, 1.4 million rabbits killed.
Yep.
And then last year, there was 223,000 rabbits killed. 1.3 million below before. It just, it like
staggering.
really blows my mind.
It does. It's now you will be happy to know, Eric, that one of the 2 species of small game listed for Minnesota Department of Natural Resources that has increased in number of hunters is the woodcock.
Oh, that's my favorite. That is my favorite bird.
Yeah,
Is
it
the
is. It
woodcock.
has increased 2%. And surprisingly, we had almost 12,000 woodcock hunters last year.
I wish we had
I
him
didn't even
here.
know it existed until this past week when you guys showed me the woodcock dance. I had no idea.
And I'm going to tell you what. I just want you to know I performed that dance very well.
Did it work?
No.
Didn't work for me either. I actually got laughed
So,
at.
Let me tell you something. Can I tell you a secret?
Yeah.
Since no one else is listening.
Yep. It's just us.
Soggy tried it. It didn't work. I
Who
tried
did-
it.
Did Soggy
tried
try it
it.
on walleye?
No, on his
Oh.
wife.
Oh.
All right, so listen, I tried it. It didn't work. I got laughed at. I got made fun of.
Yeah, I did too.
Soggy tried it. I think he got slapped. Buzzard tried it, and his woman just laughed and laughed and laughed and thought it was the funniest thing. Didn't work. You tried it. It didn't work.
No.
There's only one guy that I know that tried it that says it worked. And that was Joker. Yep.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of is he looks so goofy on a normal everyday basis, so that maybe the woodcock dance made him look less goofy, which was kind of like eye-opening, like, hey, yeah, all right.
Well, okay. Wait a minute. Let me see.
He was asked to do it again, too. Well, wow.
No, don't listen to him. Please don't listen to him. Because he has no proof. He went missing from my stream for 20 minutes. I called Buzzard for Buzzard to go check on him to make sure he was still alive. And he... Now, let me show you something. I just sent you something in Discord. Don't turn on the volume. Just look at that for a second. That is my new gritty dance that could be a woodcock dance. And I know we can't show it on stream, but it is pretty good.
But you're gritty?
Yeah, I did it today. It was women went nuts. We had 1,000 people jumped in the channel after I did that dance.
Well, did you break a hip doing that?
What do you mean?
Did you pull your groin?
Out of the 1,001 people that rated JB, 999 of them were women because they seen me doing the gritty dance.
Boy. I mean, it kind of looked like you were possessed by the devil. It kind of looked like you had ants in your pants. Like, yeah, Buzzard, yeah, they said shitty, not gritty. It was shitty. It was a shitty
Well,
gritty.
it was, listen, I did a good dance, all right?
You did a dance. That was no gritty.
Anyway,
Practice.
maybe we should get back to the hunting again.
Well, maybe you need to do the gritty, and that'll bring in the squirrels and the rabbits.
Listen, I did the gritty, and it worked.
On who?
Now I owe Ezra $15.
For why?
Because every time he came to my stream, I got 500 viewers. When he would net my fish, I'd get 500 viewers.
I'm going to make no comments.
You know what? I'm going to tell you, he did a good job today netting my fish.
Good.
Yeah. He did get a couple that got away from him, but he did. And he got the heck beat out of him like I did. I mean, we all got our butts kicked today, so it was fun.
That's good for you guys.
All right, so let's go back to squirrel hunting.
Okay, so not just let's. I want to just ask a question. We've been talking about small game for hunting, and the decline in the numbers of hunters for small game. We didn't look anything up for fishing. My presumption is that the numbers have declined.
I think it's declined in deer, fish. Yeah. I think it's declined. If we looked at the overall numbers, I bet it's all declining.
Yeah, I would assume so too. And we kind of touched on it when we were talking before the show. What that ends up hurting is that ends up hurting all of us, because the less hunters there are, the less licenses are being purchased, and the less licenses being purchased, the less money that's going into those habitat functionalities from the government. And not that I want to get into the government and the government paying, because Lord knows where some of that money that is supposed to be going towards natural resources, where does it actually go? I have to hope that it's going where it's supposed to go. But if the money's not coming in at all, or at 50% less, it's just like anything else. If there's no money, if I ain't paying no 50 cents for no Coke, well, then you ain't getting no Coke. And if there's no money in the budget for the habitat, either the habitat takes a hit or your taxes go up. Do we need that? I don't know. It sucks overall. And what do you do? How do you get this back? That's maybe the ultimate question of how in the world do we get back on track for getting people out doing small game. And again, I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else, because I haven't done it in 30 plus years. But now that you brought it up and we're talking about it, I'm planning on hey, I think that could be fun. Go get a single shot 22 and iron sights and just have at it.
Let's just look at this for a minute. So in 2024, yes, in 2024, Texas had the most hunting license and tags, permits, and stamps issued in the entire United States. They had 1.1 million licenses sold.
How in the world did that just happen?
What? What'd you do?
That was my follower alert. I'm not even sure how that happened. Oh, well.
I didn't even see it. Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
I'm just reading proceed. This. All right. So some other states with high numbers of hunters include Wyoming. Out of their entire population, 23.4% of the people that live in that state bought hunting license. South Dakota is third with 22.7%. Montana is fourth with 20.6%. North Dakota, and then Idaho. This is just mind-blowing. There were 15.9 million licenses sold last year in the United States. In the whole United States, but 1.1 million was in Texas.
So why is that?
All right, so here's what it says. But the amount of hunting license has slowly dwindled from its peak of 17 million in 1980. So it's gone from 17 million to 15.9. So there's been a 2.1 million decrease in hunters.
Yet, as we discussed last week, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. So
Yes.
that's actually quite amazing to know that the number of hunters is declining at this steady of a pace, yet the amount of money being made and spent is at an all-time high and with no signs of slowing down. So how does that mean those of us that are still in and hunting and fishing on a regular basis, are we just that gullible and are buying all of these things at a rate that's so much more rapid than the number of hunters that there is? You would think supply and demand would tell you if there's less hunters, less money is getting spent on equipment, but it's the exact opposite that's happening, which is intriguing.
Well, I don't know what the average cost is in Texas for a hunting license. I have no idea. We'll just say it's $30, $40. I know here in Kentucky, it would cost me about $95 to have all my tags. And that's without duck and geese. That's without duck and geese.
So, you guys do your licenses different. Like I was mentioning to you here, it's if I want to hunt whitetail, bow hunting, archery, rifle / shotgun, and muzzleloader, those are technically 3 different licenses, 3 different seasons, and I have to buy one for each one. And I'm guessing I think they're around $30-ish,
right,
each, give or take. So yeah, we're about that $90, but that's just whitetail. Now, if you want your small game, I don't even know what a small game license costs. I mean, I don't think it's that much, but it's probably $20-$30.
Let's just pick $50 as an average for Texas. 1.1 million license sold.
That's yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we all need to move to Texas.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to.
No.
It's already too hot here in Minnesota, man.
All right, so
I'm not moving to Texas.
Just kind of weird here. I just was looking. Georgia, only 7% of the population, but in Texas, with 1.1 million hunters in the state, only 3.9% of their population hunts.
Well, is that skewed though? Because is it differentiating resident license versus non-resident license? Because I would imagine there's a lot of non-resident.
It does not say that. It all it says that's 3.9% of the total population. Texas come in 35th per capita.
That would be an interesting, and I know it doesn't break that down, but that would be an interesting breakdown, especially for states like Texas, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado.
Wisconsin is on there.
North Dakota and South Dakota.
Wisconsin's on there, and there were 669,000 licenses purchased, 11.4% of the population, and they're 10th place per capita.
And that's all they do there.
Pennsylvania they're saying here is number 2 with 953,000 sold hunting license, 7.4% of the total population, and they rank 23rd per capita.
It
blows my mind how they're doing
crazy.
This. Because if we take the top 5 states there, and there's only 15 million hunters, right there is like 6 million hunters in the top 5 states. That only leaves, what?
I don't know. Carry the
9
one.
million left?
Yeah.
Out of the next 45 states? That's pretty low. I thought Alaska would have been way up there, but it isn't.
Alaska's too expensive to
They're not even on the list.
No. Well, the population of Alaska is not high enough to really be to make a dent. And even though a lot of people go to Alaska to go hunting, I don't think their non-resident hunting is anywhere near where some of the lower 48 would be, just because of the cost. I mean, it's so freaking expensive to go to Alaska and shoot anything.
Yeah, but let me say something to Chad here. Maximus, your $100 or $120 is probably going to be, if you say 120, that's going to cost us about $70 US.
True.
So if you're using it as an average, yeah, you may be costing more than our license for it, but it's averaging out cheaper than what we're paying, probably.
Yeah. And I wonder, one of the things we didn't do is look at if Canada has numbers.
Yeah.
I would assume they do, but as far as, I wonder if they're experiencing similar fates for like small game or hunting in general, but small game in particular, I think, is being impacted the most right now with the decline. I wonder if Canada's running into that same thing. And if they're not,
I don't know.
Maybe we need to look at Canada as a positive deviant to say, what are you doing?
So I'm sure Canada and the southern parts of Canada have cottontail rabbit, but I bet the majority of their rabbits are hares up north. Don't you think? Which makes a difference on hunting.
Well,
you have to have a dog that's going to be able to run in that deep snow.
Yeah.
You're going to have a rough. I think their numbers are probably going to be really low unless they're down here on the southern border against the states, maybe.
Well, yeah, if you're comparing the two, but if you're only looking at Canada and the Canada last 10-year mean, Ceteris paribus, you would still see the same trending if they're seeing the same type of decline that we're seeing.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know what I mean? Well, to me, that would be what would be interesting to see if they are experiencing that. And if they're not, like I said, look at Canada as a positive deviance and say, what are you doing different than we're doing? How are you keeping your hunters engaged in small game where we're clearly losing our ass?
How many of us in this chat room can afford to go to Alaska next year on a moose hunt or an elk hunt or whatever, a bear hunt? Because if you book...
Is Uncle Walleye bringing us?
No, if you book a hunt, it's going to cost you between $20,000 and $30,000.
Yeah,
in Alaska. If we go with, we'll say, John Doe, who owns a property up there, I bet it's still going to cost us $7,000.
Yeah, of course it will, because just the flight alone is not cheap.
You're going to pay for the flight, then you're going to have to pay to get that moose processed, or you're going to process it yourself.
You still have to get it back.
I mean, yeah, you're going to be paying some money anyway. Then you got to get it home.
We tried to send some freaking barbecue seasoning to Canada, and it was going to cost us my left arm and left testicle.
Right, exactly.
I can't imagine trying to ship 800 pounds of moose meat from Alaska back home.
Yeah.
Ugh. That'd be awful.
That's
no bueno.
All right, one thing I want to bring up. We talked about at the beginning.
Okay.
We're going to get off a little bit. I still consider it small game, but crow hunting.
Yeah. All
right.
Who knew?
So anyway, I used to crow hunt a lot. My dad was really huge into it. I mean, and he was really good at it. Imitate a crow that's injured. And they come in, from every different direction and angle, dive bombing through the trees at you. Mm-hmm. And we would start shooting them. And we would move a mile down the road and start all over again after we was done with them. That is something that I don't see, that I haven't seen in 20 years. is crow hunters. I just wonder, is there anyone in our chat that crow hunts at all?
I've never heard of it. I legit didn't think you could. I mean, I thought you'd just shoot the crows just to shoot the crows because they're pain in the ass.
Yeah,
I had no idea until today.
Yeah. Yeah, when you said that to me before the stream, I thought you was joking with me.
Oh, no, I had no idea.
Yeah, yeah. So,
now, what's interesting, I'm looking at the Minnesota for crow.
Uh-huh.
Crow, out of everything, crow shuts down during all of deer season.
Yeah,
of
because
all the freaking things.
You're shooting in the air, but you can shoot in the air at a squirrel on the or on the second, third day of deer season. Here, you guys can shoot in the air on the first day of squirrel season and deer season.
I would love to talk to somebody within our government to say,
right, walleye, exactly.
To say, with all due respect, who the hell is making these decisions? Like, are you on some sort of hallucinogenic mushroom when you guys sit down in a room and say, here's a great idea?
Let's go crow hunting out in the farmer's field and shoot at crows coming down through the treetops. Maybe Todd will be out there standing in his tree stand. Yeah, I know. But no, walleye, you're exactly right. It's been years since I've seen anyone crow hunting. And I want you guys to pay attention to it this year. When you're driving somewhere in small game season, see if anyone's out there. I mean, you're driving right by them. They got dog kennels in the back of their trucks parked along the road. You know whether they're rabbit hunting or not. I think it's a cause that is falling apart right now. I don't know if we're ever going to get it back.
Well, I think we start a revolution and we start making it cool again to hunt crows. So, what do you do with them? You don't eat them.
Oh, no, you throw them away.
They're a pest. So they're like a prairie dog. They're pests.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. And the fact that in Minnesota it opens September 1st, goes through the end of October, and then closes and reopens again mid-December.
Let me see what Kentucky crow season is.
We're going to make crow hunting cool again. Can we make... That's a cool slogan. We should think about making that into like a slogan on t-shirts or something. Make crow hunting cool again. Do you guys have a...
Ours is September 1st, the first day of dove season. Ours comes in and runs to November 7th, and then January 4th to February 28th.
Yeah, so yours does the same thing. Why? Is it because you're going to have so many crows coming on those gut piles for the deer that it would just be taking candy from a baby, shooting fish in a barrel?
I have no idea. I don't, and a migratory bird waterfowl permit must be accompanied with crow hunting. So we have to have that for dove. So now they're making it that we have to have, I guess anything you shoot in the air, you must have this permit, this new permit. You got to complete a HIP survey, a HIP survey.
Like the one you broke trying to do the gritty.
I don't know, I think.
It's... I don't get it. I don't get it. And it's just, I'm sitting here looking at our seasons and we're going to talk about the opossum. Okay. So we have a northern zone and a southern zone for these critters. And in the northern zone, it opens on October 19th and it goes through March 15th. October 19th through March 15th. The southern zone opens and closes on the exact same time. Why even break it out? Why break it out? The seasons are exactly the same. It's for the exact same animal. I don't understand who does these. And maybe that's part of the problem, Eric. Maybe part of the problem is we've got people in our government making these decisions and putting things out, seasons that make absolutely no sense. And now you need a HIP permit. Now you need this permit and that permit and this permit. You're getting permitted to death. And maybe some people are just saying, F it. I'm not doing all that stuff to go shoot some freaking crows. Maybe.
So when's your bullfrog season? Just for the hell of it, I just seen this.
I don't think.
Yeah,
we
you
don't
do.
have.
I
No,
bet
we
you
don't.
have a bullfrog season. Put it in.
It's not listed.
Type in bullfrog season from Minnesota.
I don't even know if we have bullfrogs here.
You gotta have a bullfrog. You got a soggy Wonka, so you definitely have a bullfrog.
No, there's no season on bullfrogs here.
Really? Ours is noon May 17th to midnight October 31st. On the Halloween. They ended on the Halloween.
Yeah.
Is that a Halloween joke?
I don't know.
Oh, do you want to tell everyone what a groundhog is and a prairie dog?
They're squirrels.
Yes. How many of you knew that?
Probably not many. No, we didn't know bullfrog season here.
I can't believe you don't have a bullfrog. Everywhere else I've ever been has had bullfrog seasons.
To the layperson, it's Lithobates catesbanius.
Do
In
you
case
know
you didn't know.
we got a turtle season?
No, we don't have a turtle season.
Yeah, it's open year round.
Yeah. How about, do you guys have Sandhill Crane?
Yes, sure.
You have
do.
a season for that? Yeah.
Yes. Let me see when it is.
Ours is 3 weeks, and it's only there's only one little zone in the far northwest corner of the state, which is probably why we have such a huge population of them down here, is because they know they can't get.
All right. Here's
Can't
what
get
it
that.
says. December 7th to January 31st, 2024, to hunt sandhill cranes in Kentucky, you must apply for a permit through a quota hunt drawing in September. Applicants must have a valid hunting license or be exempt from a hunting license requirement. After the drawing, applicants will receive the results online and must pass an online identification exam to receive a permit. You have to sell your mother, your father, and 2 children to be able to go hunt.
Can we substitute wife? I want to keep my mom.
Holy shit.
Asking for a friend, isn't that what you always say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, how about falcons? Do you want to talk about that for a second? That's interesting.
Well,
We
see,
can hunt squirrels. with a
okay.
falcon.
I don't want to get too far into falcons because I have been trying like hell to get a falconer on the show with us. I think it's fascinating beyond belief.
Okay.
I
but
want a
all
falcon
I was
so
gonna
bad.
say- All I was going to say is you can hunt rabbits and squirrels in Kentucky and probably Minnesota too, I would imagine, with a falcon.
Mhm.
And there is an amount that you can take with a falcon. I won't go into it if we're going to have someone on the show
Yeah.
here eventually.
I'm trying. I've been trying for months to get somebody.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that to me, falconers and hunting with the falcon opens your world up to so many cool things.
Oh,
I want
I
a falcon.
think it would be neat to be able to go out and watch it. I wouldn't want to own one because I'd be afraid. I'd be afraid Joker would be standing over there behind a tree and shoot my falcon.
Oh well, then you would have not trained your falcon well enough because at the first sight of Joker, the Falcon should just do a nosedive right at his face.
No, we're talking about falconries, Maximus, where you train your bird, your falcon.
He's talking about sandhill cranes.
Oh, cranes. Hold on.
Sandhill cranes.
Yeah, the sandhill cranes. No, they are endangered. They are on the endangered list, but they still allow. They're not to the fullest extent where they're shutting it off. You still can go hunt. I think you're allowed. How many am I allowed?
Cranes? We're only allowed 2.
I'm gonna say we're 2 also.
Well, 2 is the daily limit. Our possession limit is 6. But again, you have to go way north.
I think we're only allowed 2 a season.
I don't know that I could shoot a sandhill crane. I've heard they're delicious, and Kelly is saying what everybody says. It's the ribeye of the sky. And while I said the same thing, I've heard they're delicious. I would be more than willing to try one.
All right, here's what it is.
I'd go hunt them. Sure.
Sandhill cranes can only be hunted in Colorado, Kansas, Montana, New Mexico, Kentucky, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Texas, Wyoming. It doesn't even give you your state.
Well, it should. I'm looking at our season right now.
I'm just saying, on this, it's not giving your state at all. But Nebraska is the only central flyway of the sandhill crane.
I'd give it a shot. I'm not saying it wouldn't. Can't be any worse than goose.
Well, they claim that it is the ribeye steak.
Yeah. It must be tender.
I don't know. I've never had it. I would love to try it. But
all right, let's go up to your lake place and go shoot sandhill cranes in a month. 2 months. Where did it go?
Yes, you eat them, Maximus. Everyone that I have talked to that have hunted sandhill cranes say there is not anything better than eating a sandhill crane.
Yeah, I'd love to try it.
They claim that, well, I just said the ribeye of the sky. Yes. I've heard that story my whole life.
Yes, sir. So the moral of the story is small game hunters are declining at an insanely rapid pace to the point where who knows what's going to happen. Who knows if the 10-year mean, if we're going down at a 50 to 70% rate over the last 10 years, the next 10 years are going to be pretty telling. And hopefully states can figure it out, and hopefully people get back out there. I'm just as guilty as everybody else. I stopped 30 years ago. I just never cared, but I kind of want to try it again. I kind of want to get back into it.
So instead of having those things that you were going to make for the show and sell, why don't we do a thing to get people back hunting? We can have groups like them girls did.
Yeah, for wilderness.
Girl hunting. We could have get everyone back to hunting small game.
I think what we should organize is we should organize a beach party at the farm, and that would be the after party.
A beach party. Where? What farm?
Yours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we'll have everybody to your place. Pam will make us like macaroni and cheese. Maybe cut up some hot dogs and throw it in there. Gourmet.
You volunteering her?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll tell her.
Yeah. Pam, make everybody mac and cheese, and then we'll go squirrel hunting, and then we'll go to the beach on the farm and have a beach party.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do make a fire on the beach. It'll be fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we ought to start sportsmen's clubs of this.
We should.
Of getting people back to hunting again. And, we could call it Buzzco Bot Hunters.
We got time to figure out a name.
Yeah. I think
I'll bring a hot dish, don't you know?
I'll bring a dish to share.
Yeah, sure, you betcha. Anywho, please.
Well, it was fun.
I
enjoyed
think it's a great topic.
Yeah. We just need to get back out there and do some. And I am. I'm going to take my grandkids squirrel hunting this year.
You should.
I'm going to.
Come down. Let's pick a date. I'll come down. I'll go with you.
And I'm going to get them, and we're going to cook a big stew pot of squirrel stew.
Tell you what, I'm going to make a deal. I will get my license for Kentucky.
No, you won't. It's so expensive for the last time you looked that up.
and then I'm going to come down, give or take, like November 14th or 15th, and I'm going to go hunt squirrels while you are in your deer stand.
No. No, heck no, you would shoot me on purpose.
Well, with a Nerf gun.
Yeah. Oh, that would be scary.
All right, y'all. Thanks for coming. Don't forget, check out Texas Select Seasonings, !BBQ, !CARC to check out CARC's boats, and !Deer 30 to check out Deer 30, our fantastic sponsors. Texas Select Seasoning, Cast and Camo in all caps to get 15% off. Deer 30, Cast and Camo 24 for Eric. How much percent off?
24% off.
24 freaking percent off.
Hey, thank you all for being here. And I'm Eric.
And I'm Todd. We'll see you guys next week. See ya.